Hello, everyone. Father Bob Gross here, 11:16 on Sunday. Just got done with Sunday Masses. And I just want to share with you the main idea from the homily that I gave. And that's this. When we practice our Catholic faith, we have to face this dilemma. Do we choose the gospel over our personal comfort? And when you look at the teachings of Jesus, the teachings of his church, the call to conversion, and in our own American society that is filled with so much stuff. This morning, we all woke up in a warm bed. We probably had a hot shower. We probably had a hot cup of coffee. We're going to have a wonderful and bounteous meal and festina at the parish council, at the parish festival. We will eat again. We have television. We have iPods. We have iPads. We have smartphones. We have the ability to travel far distances with great ease. We have strong buildings. We have unbelievable medical help, hospitals, state of the art, even in rural Iowa. All that we have. And even though all of that is good, there is a value in our nation that says, be comfortable. Comfort is a supreme value. We see it in putting cushions in our pews. We're not Protestants. We don't sit in the pews for 30, 40 minutes listening to a homily. Yet we still put cushions in our pews. Comfort. Comfort. What that does to us, if we're not careful, is that it puts us asleep. And the gospel tries to wake us up from sleep. And that is by putting personal comfort aside. Today's gospel is a perfect example. If we are followers of Jesus, we are to be reconcilers. That's it. If there's a disagreement between two Christians, you don't walk away from the disagreement. You try to work it out. Because you're supposed to be part of a new reality, a new family that is based on unconditional love, forgiveness, and reconciliation. You don't leave the parish. You don't write off people. You try to get their attention by bringing your concern to the brother or the sister that you are sinning against or has sinned against you. And you say you're sorry. You seek to repair. You seek to start over. You don't walk away with a hard heart. But that's hard. That's uncomfortable. That calls conversion. That calls looking at your own role in the whole mess. But Jesus calls us to do it anyway because we're better than that. The gospel is the better of life. And today's gospel is an example of that. So that's the main point I want to share. When it comes to anything the church teaches, initially we are going to be resistant to it because it takes away our initial temporary comfort. That's why penance is so important in the life of faith. And we've lost our sense of penance in the church. Penance is the ability to say no to yourself with the aid of grace. To say, I'm going to say no to myself out of love for God and love for others. It gives us the space, the resiliency, in order to say, I want God first, even over my own comfort. But we have a hard time with that. We want our comfort. And today's culture does not agree with the message of last week's gospel, deny yourself, take up your cross, and this week's gospel, be reconciled with one another. Our culture thrives on conflict. That's why people are so angry. So, as you reflect on your faith life today, I pray that you realize that we have to be uncomfortable in order to be faithful Catholics. When you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like going to Mass, You go to Mass anyway, it's uncomfortable. And then you have the peace of a clean conscience. You don't want to eat the diet you're supposed to because you have diabetes. You do it anyway, and you feel better later. Christianity is delayed gratification. The world offers instant gratification. And when we do, we only worry about ourselves. And it compounds, and it makes the world a fallen world, which it is, only looking out for our own interests. That's why Jesus offers the better way today in human relationships within the church. And in every aspect of our lives, Jesus offers the better way. That's why we have to listen to him, listen to the church, to give the church the benefit of the doubt. I want to close with two examples from nature. Have you ever heard of the Pacific salmon? They're a salmon, a form of fish, a species of fish that swims in salt water, but they spawn in fresh water. That's where they start. And in order to spawn, they go to the place where they themselves had spawned. There's this spot that they go to, and they swim upriver. You can look it up on YouTube. Salmon leaping out of the water to go upstream against the current. It's crazy. They're not thinking about their comfort. That's very difficult. The fish make it to the spawning site exhausted. They mate, they spawn, and then they die. But the next generation lives. It's brought to life. They set aside their personal comfort for the furtherance of their species. Or have you ever seen the movie The March of the Penguins? Empire penguins who walk across all of Antarctica in the dead of winter to lay their eggs to have their next generation. Do you think look at the difficulty that they go through, what they're willing to do for the next generation. That's where the parenting of vocation, the vocation of parenting, gives a great insight into who God is. God is our Father. He's willing to endure things by sending us his Son so that we can live, putting aside our personal comfort so that the life of the gospel can take possession of our lives. That's what's a problem now. We live in a self-absorbed culture. That's why Jesus wants to snap us out of that sleep. So what are you willing to say no to so you can say yes to Jesus? I'd leave you with that, and may God bless you, and have a great Sunday. Go Pack.